Now that school is back in full swing, parents, your job gets even more challenging. From preparing healthy meals to bringing your children to school on time, you'll be on the go most of the time. But with proper planning and time management, you'll be ahead of the curve. And don't forget, the school needs your support, so get involved in school activities and attend parent-teacher meetings. It's another edition of the edutainment-filled show. With me, Theodore Henry. The program kicks off with a word of advice, followed by the news.
How well do you know your child? What he or she likes or dislikes? Favorite food or color? How about who their friends are? Make the time. Get to know your child. It helps to build their relationship. Makes it easy to keep them safe, and it helps their development process.
Good day, I'm Tamara McHale, and this is your GIS News for Monday, September 14. The Inter-American Development Bank has provided $250,000 US for the development of a 10-year strategic plan to improve Jamaica's health sector. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson says this 10-year plan is an essential first step.
We believe that 10 years is the minimum time that we should be looking now in developing this blueprint, this roadmap for health. This will result in a paradigm shift in the way we deliver healthcare services to the population. We hope to sign this agreement within the next couple of weeks.
Dr. Ferguson was speaking last Wednesday at a function to mark Caribbean Wellness Day. It was held under the theme, Healthy Lifestyle, Healthy Aging. National Security Minister Peter Bunting says a number of measures are being implemented to rid the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, of rogue cops. The minister's remarks come amid reports that members of the force are committing crimes.
While it has been embarrassing, to say the least, I think what it will must cause us to do is some deep introspection, reflection, look at how we have to adjust the recruiting to screen out some of these people at entry level. Look at how we have to have ongoing vetting, and also we have to improve on the supervision.
Minister Bunting was speaking at a recent function to hand over 60 motorcycles valued at $58 million to the police. 10 motorcycles will be assigned to the traffic division, while the others will be deployed for operational purposes across the island. The 60 motorbikes represent the largest purchase and deployment of motorcycles in many years. Meanwhile, Cabinet has approved a contract valued at $771,000 US to buy additional equipment for the police. Under the contract, American firm Armor Express will provide 1,500 ballistic vests, 1,000 ballistic helmets, and 500 helmet shields.
The provision and distribution of these critical security equipment to police personnel will provide personal protection and reduce serious injuries while on duty.
The Information Minister was speaking at the recent Jamaica House media briefing. Engineers are being encouraged to incorporate environmentally friendly and energy-efficient designs in their building plans. The call came from Local Government and Community Development Minister Noel R. Scott.
In this time of severe drought and water lockups, I'm sure you engineers will find it very important in the design and work to look at how you are going to incorporate water retention or water storage capacity within buildings.
Minister R. Scott was speaking at the recent launch of Engineers Week, being observed from September 20 to 27. The theme for the week is Engineering for Human and Social Development. President of the Jamaica Institution of Engineers, Andre White, said the week-long activities would push engineers to improve their quality of work. Activities include a 3-day conference at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel and a workshop on contract administration and procurement. And finally, the Ministry of Health has launched its newly revamped website as part of efforts to improve communication with the public. The website, which was unveiled on Wednesday, was designed and developed by the Jamaica Information Service. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson says the website moh.gov.jm will help to diversify the ministry's methods of communicating with the public.
These are the new ways to communicate in this digital age, especially with our young generation. And as a ministry, we have to find all the possible ways in which we can access our intended audience so as they will be able to see and have to move. We definitely have to move with the times.
And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thanks for watching.
This is one time we don't want you to laugh.
Staying safe on the road is a serious thing.
Mr. Taxi driver and bus driver, take time, man. People, so one-stop driver and come off.
Cyclists, motorcyclists, pedestrian, all road users using the head.
Only if you use cell phone and drive. No, man.
Idiot thing that.
Road safety is no laughing matter.
Because we want you to be around
and laughing with us for a long time.
A message from the National Road Safety Council and National Health Fund.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller lauds $2 million vote of confidence in the manufacturing sector. Minister responsible for sport, Natalie Nita Headley, announces Athlete Welfare and Development Fund. Just some of the stories making Jamaica House Weekly this week.
Government serious about raising Jamaica's ranking on global indices. Plans revealed for athletes' welfare. And Prime Minister Simpson Miller congratulates new Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Lorraine Mendez with Jamaica House Weekly. Government is focused on using the manufacturing sector to increase productivity and grow the economy. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller reiterated that drive as she opened a $2 million salt refinery in Spanish Town Wednesday. The Development Bank of Jamaica provided loan funding to Industrial Chemical Company to build the new salt refinery.
My government is serious about raising even further Jamaica's ranking on the key global business performance indices that signal ease of doing business. I am pleased to note the investment of more than 200 million Jamaican dollars in this state-of-the-art salt refinery. This is a welcome vote of confidence in the existing economic policies which have created a stable and predictable environment in our country.
Prime Minister Simpson Miller used the occasion to urge industrial, chemical and other manufacturing companies to use the National Export Strategy and the National Competitive Council to grow their businesses.
Let us take full advantage of the Trade and Cooperation Agreement that CARICOM Regional Bloc has signed with several countries, including the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Colombia, Cuba, and Costa Rica. Harnessing the assistance of the recently expanded National Export Strategy, let us work together to reach new and non-traditional markets all over the globe.
On Tuesday, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller extended congratulations to Dr. Keith Rowley, the new Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Mrs. Simpson Miller welcomed Dr. Rowley to the helm of leadership within the CARICOM family of nations. She also committed to continuing bilateral and multilateral cooperation with the new government of Trinidad and Tobago.
I extend sincere good wishes on behalf of our government and people that never waver in our love and respect for her graciousness, sophistication, humility, charm, and dutiful manner in which she has carried out her royal responsibilities for more than 63 years as sovereign.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller saluting the island's head of state, Queen Elizabeth II, on becoming the longest reigning monarch in British history. Wednesday's ceremony was held at King's House. On Thursday, Prime Minister Simpson Miller extended her warmest and best wishes to Anika Miller, the outgoing permanent secretary in the office of the Prime Minister. Ms. Miller will be taking up new professional responsibilities outside the public service. The Prime Minister lauded Ms. Miller for her important and outstanding contribution to Jamaica's development through her administrative leadership in the public sector. Prime Minister Simpson Miller held several important meetings at Jamaica House this past week. On Tuesday, she met with Galina Sotirova, new country manager of the World Bank office in Jamaica. She used the meeting to thank the World Bank for its support of the island's economic program by way of several investment projects and technical assistance. For her part, the country manager commended the government on its strong economic reform program and the progress being made in addressing the country's challenges. Also on Tuesday, the Prime Minister met with a delegation from the Jamaica Employees Federation. By Thursday, Mrs. Simpson Miller held talks with Ralph Thomas, Jamaica's ambassador-designate to the United States. Thursday afternoon saw the Prime Minister welcoming the Chief Executive Officer and President of Korea East-West Power Company Limited to Jamaica House. Later that day, she went to Vale Royal to meet with business leaders and Professor Errol Miller, the Director General of the National Commission on Science and Technology. The sport portfolio at the Office of the Prime Minister received some attention this past week. At a Jamaica House press briefing, Minister Natalie Nita Headley made several announcements relating to the implementation of the 2013 National Sports Policy. Among them, using $60 million set aside to celebrate athletes' achievements to create an Athletes' Welfare and Development Fund.
The sum to be saved will allow support to be given to J3As through the Sport Development Foundation to provide a monthly stipend to a pool of approximately 70 athletes currently in a national program and those going through the developmental process heading into Rio 2016.
Support for the fund will be garnered from the Tourism Enhancement and Chase funds. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has agreed to host the athletes at a special reception over the Heroes Weekend, which will be broadcast live to the nation. Mrs. Nita Headley also revealed plans by the Prime Minister to have the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium renamed in honor of Usain Bolt.
Cabinet records, I believe, will reflect her desire to have that stadium in his home parish named appropriately the Usain Bolt Sports Academy. We would not do so, however, until the completed plans of putting in the proper infrastructure is realized to include a running track.
And that's it for today's edition of Jamaica House Weekly. Do join us next time for the latest stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
Your children are now in school, which also coincides with the rainy season. So what are you doing to keep cold and flu at bay? Well, there are some healthy options to build your family's immune system, like garlic, honey, chicken soup, orange and cranberry juice, as well as tea. This next feature should give you additional tips.
If you're like most kids, you've probably heard at least one parent say, "Don't forget to take your vitamins. Eat your fruits and salads. They're packed with vitamins." And you heed the advice. But do you know why? Do you know what exactly vitamins are?
Vitamins are substances that are found in foods we eat. Our body needs them to work properly. Each vitamin has a special role to play. For example, vitamin D in milk helps us develop strong bones and teeth. Vitamin A in carrots helps us to see at night. Vitamin C in oranges helps our bodies to heal from a cut. And B vitamins in leafy green vegetables help our bodies make protein and energy. There are two categories of vitamins, fat-soluble and water-soluble. Fat-soluble vitamins are the ones called A, D, E, and K.
When we eat foods that contain fat-soluble vitamins, the essential nutrients are stored in the fatty tissues of our bodies and our livers until our bodies need them.
The water-soluble vitamins are C and B complex. These cannot be stored in our bodies and will dissolve in water before our bodies can absorb them. Any vitamin C or B that our bodies do not use pass through our systems, mostly when we urinate. So they need to be replaced regularly to ensure a fresh supply every day.
But let's break it down and take a look at one of these vitamins, C.
Vitamin C is often referred to as the cold-fighting vitamin. It is also known as a wonder worker because it plays an important role in building and maintaining our tissues. Doctors say it can enhance the function of the immune system and plays a role in the formation of important enzymes in the body. Vitamin C is important because it protects the body from skin diseases, respiratory infections, and cardiovascular problems.
According to nutritionists, human beings cannot produce their own supply of vitamin C, so we have to obtain it through our diet.
Vitamin C is found in citrus and other fruits such as oranges, limes, lemons, tangerines, grapefruit, papaya, strawberries, melons, and cantaloupes. It can also be found in vegetables like tomatoes, broccoli, green and red bell peppers, potatoes, peas, raw lettuce, and cabbage.
Vitamin C can be lost easily during cooking, particularly frying, so it's recommended that people steam their vegetables to minimize loss.
Vitamin C is also good for preserving the body from aches, pains, and heart disease. If we do not have enough vitamin C in our systems, it could lead to health complications. Diseases or ailments may include gum bleeding, skin discoloration, lack of energy, tooth decay, poor wound healing, easy bruising, loss of appetite, and pain in the joints. According to medical experts, there are certain groups of persons who can easily use up ascorbic acid, that is, vitamin C found in citrus and green vegetables, more rapidly than others. These are alcohol consumers, smokers, diabetics, individuals under stressful conditions or fever, and the elderly.
It is important to remember that vitamin C is also a highly effective antioxidant.
For additional information on vitamin C, consult your doctor or nutritionist. You can also get valuable tips from any government health institution close to you. So be health-wise.
It's a long-held belief that a healthy child is a better student, and a big part of children being receptive to learning and meeting their developmental milestones is a well-balanced diet. We support that notion, and so we've enlisted the help of Charmaine Edwards, head of the nutrition unit in the Ministry of Health, to give us some useful pointers on how to make the first few years of our toddlers' education productive. Charmaine, so happy to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell us about what is proper nutrition for like a 3 or 4 year old child?
Right, so I would say that the same thing applies for the adult. A healthy child requires a balanced meal from all the food groups, and there are 6 of them. Food from animals, staples, vegetables, fruits, and so on. So they must get nutrition from all of them.
Persons would like to know what would constitute a balanced meal for a basic school age child or children.
Right, so one of the things parents, caregivers need to pay attention to is not necessarily the amount of food that you will give a child based on the age, but what we need to pay attention to is the way they are growing, because children grow in spurts, and so they're going to also eat in spurts. And we should also be mindful that at this age, food is secondary to these children. So we have to make the eating experience a very pleasurable one. So what would this constitute? As I said before, we need to focus on the 6 food groups. So food from animals, we know we need to give them their protein source. And that is a key group that this nutrient comes from. On average, they require about 2 ounces of meat. What does that look like on a plate? A chicken leg. No, we're not talking about the drumstick part that is on the wing, the regular leg. A leg, or for the other types of meat, think of a matchbox. So 2 matchbox sizes would be the amount of meat that you give to these children. There is the carbohydrates that we get mostly from our staple foods, the yam and the banana, the ground provision as we know it. And on average, they need about like a half cup of that. There's also our vegetables. They need about a 1/4 cup of cooked vegetables. These are the ones that give you starch and so on, not the free ones like the lettuce and the tomatoes. I'm talking about like pumpkin and carrot and so on. Fruits in general, a medium fruit, is good for them. But if you're going to be giving them as liquid in the form of a juice, then they need about a quarter cup. All right. We need to be mindful that not all juices are juices. We need to read labels to ensure that there's no added sugar. Once there's added sugar, it's no longer a fruit juice. It then becomes a fruit drink. So we need to be careful of that. And the fats and oils you will use in cooking, and we don't give them more than about 2 teaspoons. I know we're having more than that. So, and what you want to do is stretch their meals over the day. So we are saying 3 meals and 2 to 3 snacks, right? And we always hear about a 2,000 calorie diet. They need around about 1,700 calories. And you're going to spread it out throughout the day, all right? The 3 meals and 2 snacks. And a snack is not what we are used to, a snack. We need to give them healthy snacks.
What would you say constitutes a healthy snack? Because immediately I'm thinking of something processed, something off the supermarket shelves.
Right, and the snack can come off the supermarket shelf. We just need to be mindful of what we are choosing. But even before we get to the supermarket shelf, Jamaica is abundant in fruits and vegetables, and they form good snacks. I know children like crunchy stuff. A carrot is a crunchy vegetable and makes a good snack when you serve it with peanut butter. It's actually very tasty. So you may want to try that. But there are a lot of fruits around, there are a lot of vegetables, cucumbers, that can be used as snacks. But you want to vary it, so, you know, with the regular stuff, there's crackers, and there's cheese, and there's peanut butter, and there's jam, and there's jello, gelatin, that they can have as snacks. So we need to be mindful of what a snack is as well, because you don't want it to replace the meal.
Yes, and you did mention these, which are very good ideas, but at the same time, you do have some children that are very picky eaters. What would you suggest in that case?
Right, and so it would take me back to that point I made earlier, that children grow in spurts. They're going to eat in spurts as well. They're going to love something today, and when you offer it tomorrow, they don't want to see it. So you have to work with what they like as well, and what they might take something now in one meal, that might be a large meal, and the next time you offer, they take half or less than half. So you watch the amount they eat each time and work with that. We also need to be mindful that these children need a lot of micronutrients, and so the vegetables and the fruits are going to be key, especially with the B vitamins, the children this age, and the zinc and the selenium. Vitamin C is also very crucial because our children tend to have a lot of anemia. So we need to ensure that they're getting their vitamin C.
And they can get that from the oranges and the
citrus fruits. Again, these children have small stomachs, so remember we have to keep it small.
You mentioned a bit earlier about the vitamin C and the calcium. What are some of the food groups that parents can get these from?
All right. So one of our main sources of calcium is milk and cheese. So dairy products, certainly. But there are also vegetables that offer calcium as well. And the other nutrients, well, the iron and the zinc and magnesium and so on, again, you get them from our green leafy vegetables and our yellow vegetables, but also our fruits do provide some of these as well.
Okay, Charmaine, some solid suggestions there. So there you have it. Nutrition is a major part of a child's learning experience. So ensure your child has the right ingredients to grow and to learn. Fever, rash, joint pain, and red eyes. All common signs of the Zika virus or ZIKV. Symptoms are usually mild, lasting anywhere from a few days to a week. Jamaica has no Zika cases, but if it gets here, it would only be transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Don't give Zika a chance. Prevent the breeding of these pesky mosquitoes.
The use of oil, cooking oil, a little tip of cooking oil poured on the surface of the water suffocates the larvae and prevents them hatching out. So persons can do that.
Are you a Jamaican male over the age of 40? Grab a seat. This next feature is for you.
The major risk factors for prostate cancer are age. It's a disease of the aging man. So as a man gets older, it's more likely that he will be diagnosed with the disease. In addition to age, race is a major risk factor. So anywhere in the world, men of color or African background are present, they will likely be suffering from prostate cancer at a high rate. Family history is a major risk factor. If a man has one family member who has prostate cancer, his risk is double compared to someone who doesn't have the disease. If he has 2 family members, the risk is multiplied by 5. It therefore means that every man really should know what their family history is like regarding this disease. But those risk factors of age, of race, of family history are not modifiable. We can't change those things. But what we can change is a significant risk factor of diet. So the diet that is associated with that increased risk of prostate cancer is a diet that is high in fatty foods, so the polyunsaturated fatty acids, the PUFAs as we call them, a diet that is high in red meat, a diet that is high in caloric content, a diet that is low in fresh fruits and vegetables, and fiber. So not only is it an inciting factor, it's a promoter once the disease is diagnosed.
Prostate cancer may be prevented. Here are a few simple tips that may help you prevent prostate cancer. Eat healthy. Diets have been linked to prostate cancer. Therefore, limiting your intake of high-fat foods and eating more fruits, vegetables, and whole fibers may help you reduce your risk. Foods rich in lycopene, an antioxidant, also may help lower your prostate cancer risk. These foods are said to include raw or cooked tomatoes, tomato products, grapefruit, and watermelon. Garlic and some vegetables such as broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower also may help fight cancer. Vitamin E is also said to be an important element in the fight against prostate cancer, especially among smokers. Exercise regularly. Exercise has been shown to strengthen your immune system, improve circulation, and speed up digestion, all of which may play a role in cancer prevention. If you're over 40, it is also very important to visit your doctor at least once a year to get tested for the disease. Prostate cancer is real. Prostate cancer may be prevented. Get tested today.
And that's where we sign off on Jamaica Magazine, but only for today. The show returns tomorrow, same time, same place. Your interaction with us doesn't have to end. We maintain a constant online presence. Visit our website at www.jis.gov.jm, like us on Facebook, add us on Twitter, or better yet, download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Theodore Henry. Pleasant viewing.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.